If you guys can guess this, then you all will get the rest of our podcast as well.
Hey Bhagwan.
Strike a Chord, a podcast by Arpana.
Hello and welcome to a very, very, very special episode of Strike a Chord. This is indeed very special because it actually sums up the last 10 years of my life with Gostana. And yes, I'm back after a month because some personal reasons, so needed a break. So on this episode are the core team of Gostana. It started with Suva, Lucid Illusions, and then came Yeshi. And Rahul Nanda was always a customer, but he came in more, a guest, but he came in as a family a little later when we started all the Gostana after hours and all. So Suva, you remember how we connected? We all have connected on Twitter first. That's I think a very common story from the beginning. Yeah.
It was Twitter, mostly the burger. I think Jay and Anisha had put up something about Gostana burger and apple. So yeah, I think the apple was always the first connect for everyone to come to Gostana. And the first time I met Apple like literally ignored me and went away because I had food in my hand.
Even she has priorities, especially with guys with beards. Sorry. Yes, continue.
I don't think I had beard back then. I don't remember.
I don't think I knew you without a beard ever.
Yeah.
Did we? In between he went off.
Yeah. I haven't seen you without a beard, so
It was before.
I don't know what you're
I met
talking
you
about.
guys.
Okay, fine.
Okay. I think Apple. Post that, basically, since I was staying in Powai and Gostana was in Bandra, I couldn't go that often. And then I found out you live in Powai.
I lived in Powai for the few months I was not well. And
Yes.
yeah.
So every time you were coming to meet your parents, I would be like, hey, like next time you're coming, can you bring a burger for me? But every time you were coming, I was gallivanting around the city in other parts. So we never really connected.
Yeah.
But when Gostana relocated, that's when like you invited for the pre-party,
Yes.
and that's when we started
Hanging
out together. Yes.
Yeah, she and I have fun. So we kind of knew of each other, but then your food bloggers award happened, and then we went to celebrate at Toto's. You, me, and
Bhavin. That's how I know you actually, because he connected with me on Twitter and then he said, oh, let's meet at Gostana. And I remember he was late. So he said, don't worry, Arpana's gonna be there. Just, hang out with her. And that's how I met you.
Yeah. Bhavin was like his living room should have been called Gostana.
Yeah.
Before door number 1 came though.
You're my first ever and only Twitter friend.
Oh,
who's become
honored.
family.
I didn't know that. So another thing about Yeshi, she is an amazing baker. And,
Thank you.
And I'm just doing this serious round of introductions are happening now, but we're going to get a little crazy later for sure. And also we just all of us are kind of, except for Rahul who didn't bring the chicken, we're kind of in food coma after the Sindhi curry and took. So yes, coming back to Yeshi's baking, I don't know when it started, but she's like, okay, I'm going to come to Gostana every weekend. I actually asked her, why don't you get your desserts every weekend? Next thing you know, she's managing the place on weekends. Next thing you know, she's carrying guest babies and serving food over there. And then all the dogs are being photographed officially by Yeshi.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite part. I have so many pictures with all the dogs and, it was just like a dream.
So we're 3 of us in this room, so we're going to get to Rahul, and after that I'm going to talk about the people who were supposed to be in this room but are not, but that's okay, whatever. Rahul actually he used to order food from us from the first Gostana, this Kantwadi, I remember He had a very khatarnak address and used to order from there.
No, because I actually, so the first time I ate there, I remember I was distributing invites for the Filmfare Awards. And
Plug in, he's ex-Filmfare.
apart from that, I was told about this place by a friend of mine, and I just walked in and I had a burger and I thought it was amazing. So after that, what I did was I used to order from all the weird addresses, because wherever we were shooting, I used to call from there. So I don't think that she ever knew where he's calling from.
Yeah, because the system feeds a number, and ye number hamesha, because you already have one address, like, oh my god, this number, now you have to add another address.
Also, Mehboob Studio का हर studio number से एक बार तो गोस्ताना में order गया ही है.
Thanks, yeah, thanks.
And I've made so many people try the burger. I've told her also, And I think that a lot of them, I do not know, but I think a lot of them did.
Anyways, we're not promoting the business
No, I'm
anymore
just saying
because
that
it's closed anyway.
No, but I'm just saying that by the way, Gostana was a burger joint. I think the viewers should know that. But it was something that, it was an instant connection, because I loved food, and that's when I realized that. And when we did meet,
We actually met through Sid Suhas, a musician friends, and he did a piece with them for Filmfare, and I remember the first time I hung out with him was at my place only in Chimbai, and it was full Sid and Merin and us.
correct, and I had just recovered from malaria. I remember that as well. I don't know why, but I remember I had just recovered and come, and that, and then I think we reconnected about 2 years later through another friend of mine, when you had already come to the Linking Road place,
Mittal.
just off,
Yeah.
with through Gangwani. I hung out with Gangwani and his friend and me. We came and hung out, and he told me this joint called Gostana, and I found it really familiar at that point, and I came back and I was like, shit, I have come to this place when it was somewhere else. And I think then we connected on Twitter after that. And then yes, Akshay Mittal, who's not here.
Yes, so we had the people who are not here. One who was supposed to be with us on FaceTime from New York, Vishwak, has no, sorry, it's too early for me to wake up. All promises. He no, 3:30 I'll wake up early and all. As usual, Vishwak. Aabha couldn't be here, and Saumi is in Pune.
Again, I'm going to come back. I'm going to cut you off. Sorry, but Vishwak and Mittal were anyway. They showed up when they showed up. There was no promises.
Yeah, they were floating members.
They were floating members.
Correct. Like in our
Rahul got your permanent residency only in the last 1 year.
I agree with that, but I'm saying that in the film industry they talk about Govinda on set, when basically he'll keep telling you he's arriving, but until he doesn't come on set and people don't see him, no one says Govinda is coming.
Are you going to compare Vishwak to Govinda?
That's what I'm also comparing Mittal
I
to
think Govinda might take offense.
I'm comparing both of them actually to Govinda.
But we did a lot of fun things. Suva, we were the first to start Bring Your Own Vinyl to Gostana, thanks to you. That was your idea.
That was one of the best things about Gostana.
I needed an excuse and a place to play my
Hey, I was always Yeshi needed an excuse to bake.
Yeah.
You needed an excuse to play vinyls. Whoever needed whatever excuses to do everything, I was like, aa jao,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't know where to hang out after 10 in the night. So.
And that's actually how the group started, Gostana After Hours. So I had invested in some colored glasses, and all the friends would sit in one corner and make their own drinks, and then they would help me wind up, clean up, and we go to my place.
Yeah.
And all the nonsense we did.
Yeah, I don't think Gostana After Hours, it
was just us. It was
Gostana After Hours, then Arpi's house After Hours.
Where we always fought over music, which is actually the core topic of this podcast throughout. And it was always like, oh my god, Vishwak would be in competition. So you should tell us about this.
I think it was just Vishwa trying to I've got this new music, and every day he would come with a new playlist,
Yeah, I remember.
and then Lenny would be like, nice music, let's share, and in between somebody else will come and let's change the music and be like, let's play this, and I'm like, oh no, we're not that sad, we're much happier. So it was different moods going from all the way from left to right, at a.
And then I will be the party pooper and like play U2 and then y'all will go home.
By the way, most of my discovery of U2 happened at Gostana. So before that, the only song I knew was With or Without You.
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
I have this one very nice memory. Once we were alone, just you and I at Gostana. Like at that point, it was between that lunch and dinner hour where there wouldn't be any crowd. And we were really bored, and the music was playing generally in background, and then suddenly this song comes up. Play that funky music.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm in the other corner doing dishes, and she's on her laptop, and suddenly we look at each other and we just start banging our heads and dancing wherever we are, and like wow, it was such a moment. So I always associate that song with you, like dancing to it with you. So yeah,
we have to have a party for that someday.
Yes.
But again, sorry.
And how Suvajeet would always play pumped up kicks for me.
Yes. So our first vinyl night, Arjun, he gifted us. Arjun was with Sony. Is with Sony. So he gifted us First the People ka. Awesome record. And since then, I was actually heartbroken. I thought it's a nice rock band, and I was listening to it, and a few months later I watched the video and I'm like, boy band hai.
Yeah, I remember sending you the link and you were like,
you ruined it for me, Suva.
But I think one of the best things about Gostana was I got to know a lot of music, and B, whenever I entered Gostana, I don't know if it's just me or you guys as well, I enjoyed all the music. And my inhibition was always like slightly, I felt very at home in Gostana. So I enjoyed any form of music, and conversation with Arpi was always great. And just generally chilling there, obviously, I came in when Zizou was there, as in, and I always thought the vibe was just so good that I could hear. It's the only place I could have even heard trance music. I know it never played there, but it might have been the only place where I could have.
That probably we never played.
Yes, thank God. I think that's why I liked it so much.
I think Vishwa could have played it if he had the chance.
Yeah, we never gave him.
I think he secretly must have played it,
Only Uttam would know. I remember once Yeshi was late and something, and Suva and I we got into some Beatles song and we made one song for Yeshi. Yeshi, don't be afraid. I have it written somewhere.
It's written somewhere. I don't remember most
Take
of
a
it.
sardo and make it better. Remember to... Something, yeah. Yeah, Suva is a huge Beatles fan. In fact, when we relocated and reopened, Suva made this 4-car Beatles car Volkswagen car poster with all John, Ringo, George and Paul written. And
and we used to have fruits, remember guys?
Can we talk about it?
We can talk about fruits, why not,
Yeah, fruits are good.
Himachali fruits, especially the apples, were really nice.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I actually didn't know what fruits meant, and I was telling my friend, these guys have gone out to eat fruits, and I don't know why they don't bring it here.
No, the actual thing was me and Vishwa coined the term fruits because Yeshi would use the actual word, and we were like,
starts with D.
And we were like,
No, actually doesn't start with D. It starts with C.
The blanket term started with D, and
The
she would use that term, and we were like, you cannot really say it out loud.
So I'm going to give you all a clue.
I think we got it.
No, our audience was they're not so smart. I think you. I hope you're smart. Well, I'm just saying. But C and G are our favorite fruits.
Yeah, I think Kutto has a song also on it. Na 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 na.
So we need to have a secret word so we could speak it loudly enough for nobody to bat an eye.
So I think Vishwak and Suvajeet said, Yeshi, please don't use that word, so loudly.
Just saying it like it's the N word, It's like
N word is alright.
Inside
we can say the N word.
when other people are eating, you cannot just keep screaming the
Let's
word.
go and do
Let's
dash. So these guys say fruits, call it fruits. I was like, fine. And then these guys were leaving to have fruits, and I was going. And because I was the person managing the cafe, so I was taking a break. So I wanted to just let her know. So I said, I'll be back. I'm just going for some fruits. And then she just thought I'm actually going for fruits and told someone else that, yeah, Yeshi and all have gone out for fruits. So she actually thought we've gone out to eat fruits.
But I have one question for you. And what I'm trying to tell you is that why didn't you call it vegetables? Because that would have been a better term, right?
No, vegetables I would have supplied to the restaurant.
You had to eat something that was not on the menu of
No,
Gostana.
but just if I was calling it something, I would say vegetable, right?
Why?
Because plant hai na, so vegetable hai. Like, I'm sorry, like green hai. Sorry.
Fruit.
No, I'm just asking.
Fruits
Question.
is shorter, no? Just
Yeah.
one word. It's
correct,
like
correct.
vegetables.
हाँ, बहुत ज़्यादा है actually. उतना कौन सोचता है?
We were not that health
Especially audience तो नहीं
conscious,
सोचती है
except
इतना.
for the burger part.
He's just out to insult the audience today.
You know, it's like he doesn't have an online presence at all. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't have
Rahul,
followers.
he doesn't
People
have
don't
blue
watch
tick
his
and all that.
vlogs, no vlogs.
No, nothing.
No, he doesn't have a kick-ass travel YouTube
No,
channel.
nothing. I have a
He
YouTube
doesn't
channel. I
have
don't
a
think it's
blue
kick-ass,
tick
but
Rahul Nanda 86 on Twitter.
Yeah, please let him know if you guys understood the
Joke.
content of
And please,
this
yes.
episode.
I
Yeah,
would like
please
to know
do
that.
let him know if you're intelligent or not.
Yeah.
Because he's overestimating himself right now.
No, not really.
I'm pulling a leg.
I know.
What else did we do? Yeah, like we have a lot of visual stories.
I think
We painted
I
the
don't know if I can
place.
say it.
I was going to get to that at some point. So it was so much at home for us, or I'm saying us, not saying you guys, because it doesn't make sense
Correct.
saying you guys. That once we were deciding we'll renovate, and I'm going to hand over to Yeshi about that night. And
Yeah.
Yeshi did the whole planning. She got all the paints and the designs. Aabha went and got scarves for all of us, and
Yeah.
one whole night we played lot of music. And
That night Akshay Mittal was also
yes, and also my nephew Ronak Bali.
there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was also introduced to fruits.
Nice. You did a noble thing.
Yeah, I never got into fruits so much. I preferred my salads.
And juices.
Yeah. Anyways, Yeshi, tell us about that night. And of course, Suva, you shot the whole night sequence.
there were pictures and videos.
No, you
and
you
we did
put it something. You did a whole time lapse or
but
something. Yeah.
Vishwak never went around editing it out into anything good.
And you also the chalk like sketch area and everything.
chalkboard paint we did.
And
Oh, that was done nice.
Yeah, that was done by your friend, and it was so sweet. Her friend came one day, like just to spend time with me and understand the music and everything. And now you tell me what you guys say, like what she created.
No, I think that you have to talk about, but I'll just tell you, that night it was, I think at that point in my life I had become this very DIY person, so I wanted to renovate everything that I could. And then
Yeah, she was experimenting at Gostana and she succeeded better. Though we loved it, but she succeeded better at her own home.
yeah, and then I remember, but I thought it's not gonna take so long, we'll be able to manage, but I think Suva and I were the last people
to leave. At
to
some
leave.
6, yeah.
We left at 10 a.m. in the
10 a.m.
morning.
Yeah.
You open
So
at 11.
It took
No,
us.
we assumed we'll open at 11, but we just kept the door open, place closed to air out. the
Yeah.
whole
I think
thing.
it had an amazing vibe after you guys finished it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so at least.
Yay, thanks.
Yeah, that new vibe was quite nice, and I told Arpana.
So let's get into the vibe. Yeah.
The vibe was what Gostana was all about. According to me,
Yeah.
it was all about
Even
that.
though-
Actually,
earlier-
I couldn't agree more. It was
Yeah.
all about the vibe.
And I'll tell you one thing, and I'm not flattering the host over here, but it was more Arps than anything else.
Yeah.
The burgers were good, but she was she held it together.
Yeah,
Like,
and Zizou, don't please.
No, Zizou obviously, like Zizou
No,
is.
but Zizou came after. Zizou came after
Yeah.
me. It was.
Yeah.
So you were holding it together.
No,
Actually, it was Apple and Chiku originally. They left and Yeshi had to take over.
yeah, before Zizu arrived. So yeah, I substituted for them.
Yeah, then
I
no,
hope I
see,
did a
you
good
substituted for Chiku, not Apple. And
see,
then,
Chiku has been my favorite. I'm one of
Yeah.
those people who's
Yeah.
always liked Chiku more than
Yeah,
Apple.
yeah.
I'm one of those rare.
Rare
Yeah.
people.
So that's the thing, you replaced Chiku.
Yeah.
And then Zizu came and replaced Apple.
Yes.
So then you all became Apple and Chiku.
Chiku again. Fruits, basically.
Now people will get confused.
नहीं audience बहुत smart है.
No, so, acha, so coming back to the chalkboard, Sunanda,
Sunanda.
she had a nice long chat with me, and she and that guy, her friend,
Rohan.
yeah,
Now her husband.
oh, nice, nice. So they came and they were like, please approve this. I was like, don't ask me for anything, just do it.
Yeah.
And they did this mind-blowing David Bowie. Suva, you can explain that in detail.
I don't remember most of it.
I just
Like
showed
you
you the
said,
picture.
That's why you ate too many
half
fruits.
the picture possible, right?
Almost. So she had a nice David Bowie sketch done, and on the side she did this beautiful thing, which even after a year or so, when I changed the background of the chalkboard, I kept that thing which she had sketched beautifully. The words Bono, of course, like music, whatever. I mean, I'm too overwhelmed right now remembering all that, but yeah, so she had just done a fantastic job, and I felt like, someone has like gone into my heart and mind and read it and put it there. So yes, that was wonderful. And yeah.
Are we taking a 5-minute break?
No, we're not. But Arp says what she's trying to say is that in very small words, that it was one of the most amazing places, and why this podcast, it brought all of us together. And I think that it was one of the most I would like to say that Gostana it changed me in a way. I got to connect with great people, we heard great music, we had a great time. I don't have I might, if I have to nitpick, maybe I will have had 5 minutes of bad time over there, but otherwise everything was good. Yeah, the company, the food.
I actually always had a good time. Food, people, music, and I loved that it was this hidden place. So every time I told people about it, it was like, this mysterious, lovely little hidden place. And I love that not many people knew about it, honestly, because we had just
not
the
good for business.
but we just had the right kind of people coming in.
Of course, we had times when there was no place to sit. Stand. People would refuse to people would want to be served standing.
Standing,
also.
I've done that. Yeah, people would stand.
And for me,
actually, all of you all worked.
Yeah, we all worked there. That's the beauty of it as well.
We all worked, we served drinks, washed
served
dishes.
everything. For me also, Gostana was so staying in a hostel, it used to get very overwhelming, and I needed a place to connect. For me, it was easy. It was a 2-hour
commute.
But yeah, it was worth it for me doing it.
Because I spent and also I remember those 8 months I stayed in Powai. So it was literally my dad was like, Suvajeet has to travel with you because he was at IIT then, and we had this one incident. Remember, 11 in the night we left from Linking Road, and from Gostana we just hit into Linking Road in a rickshaw, and this bike guy slowed next to us and they were trying to snatch my bag, and Suva and I put up a fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. It was quite
yeah, we've had
and since that day I stopped I started
cabs,
and I had a setup with this cab guy
so there was the guy who was like, sir, आप लोग रोज आते हैं तो एक काम करिए, मैं रोज छोड़ दिया करूँगा and have a fixed rate or something, and then after a week he was like, क्या आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं, like आप month में एक साथ lump sum दे दिया
I'm like,
so for him it was like
then we negotiated to weekly.
Oh wow. Nice.
I have a fun story. Once Vishwak came, none of you guys were there, so he came to drop me and Zizou in that third road small one room place, and then he's like, okay, I'll cook for you all. And so like, okay, we'll remove eggs and all, and he's like, I'll take Zizou for a walk and all that, like, and you remove all these things and all. And I remember in excitement opened the fridge and removed an egg, and Vishwak and I dropped. We were so scared of Lenny. We were like wiping the floor 12 in the midnight, like, we got to remove all the egg stains. It was too funny. Actually, we should talk about how Zizou came.
Oh my god, how Zizou
Yeah,
came
that's
into
an
our
amazing
lives.
story.
That was damn funny. I mean, not funny.
Funny
It was,
for him, but
it was in a
Because-
way funny because he was supposed to be with us for just a month and go back. And I think within a week we realized that no,
Yeah,
he's not.
we very quickly knew that he's not going back.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for whoever sent him to us and he didn't take him back.
But I always feel that good people find good people, and why I call Zizou was the in-house dog, by the way, and I call him people because he's like my brother. So like मेरा तो भाई है वो. I तो
हाँ, जीजू तो तू और विश्व का भाई है ना. तुम लोग उसको वॉक पे लेकर जाते हो, सारे गर्ल्स आते हैं. So cute, not you guys, dog, baba. So the first night, Zizou was there, like acha, he's also come, like Donut came for 5 days, Zizou's there for a month, chalo, we'll figure. And the first night, everyone came home, like we all sat in that small room house which I was staying in, and Zizou went and had someone's full drink, gin.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then he crashed, like, theek hai. Next day, not whole, he just had a few sips. Next day,
so next day again he repeated like, hey, more drinks. Like, so
Yeah,
he went for it,
and then he got into this whole panic attack, and all of us were like, what's happening? I was in tears, and suddenly Suva went to hug him, and Zizou licked his forehead, and he kept licking his forehead, and he was like, life is good.
yeah, and I was just there, just whispering to him, it's alright, just giving him pats, and it
Actually,
calmed down, I think. Like,
Took Zizou to one of my friends' place also, and it was a night of chilling and partying. And
Yeah, you were his like weekend girlfriend. Like,
That's true. And we were all sitting in this closed room and smoking, and obviously Zizou also got high, and and then he drank my friend's whiskey, and yeah, so
I hope people with animal rights are not listening to it.
we don't.
my friends loved him. They were like, wow, what a chiller, and he's like, please bring him to all our parties. So yeah, and then he wasn't getting up and we had to go home because he was just high.
Also, if anybody wants to learn how to be sneaky, you have to learn from Zizou. He's so silent. I'm telling you, he can take anything from under your nose and you won't know it. Yeah.
How many people's burgers?
I know how many free
How
burgers
many? Like, a poor person's just, they've left that one last bite of their burger, that best bite of your burger, and you're just busy talking, and next thing you know, it's gone from your plate.
And next thing you know, I've like, sorry, the burger was on the house. I remember someone who did that on purpose. One of the girls who was working saw that guy giving Zizou the burger and then complained to me like, the dog ate the burger. I'm like, ऐसे भी होते हैं.
God, you know what? I'm craving the burger right now.
I'll make.
But I'll tell you one thing, I don't know if anyone is addressing this, but Zizou's quite the ladies' man as well. Huh?
Yeah.
Like somehow, I don't know what it is.
Hey, listen, all my dogs. Now that we spoke about our friend Thomas earlier, so when we were at old Gostana, when there was only Apple, not even Chiku, Thomas used to take Apple for a walk. And he used to come back with some girl because that girl has fallen in love with Apple, and that girl has bought Thomas coffee. Thomas, I don't see him for months, but those girls are still coming to the next Gostana. So I should have made Thomas and Apple.
I wish I was single when Gostana was there,
Achha, so indirectly saying
there
he's
was-
single right now.
There was
Rahul
so...
Nanda 86, all platforms. Please slide in whenever you feel like.
If you're intelligent enough.
Yeah. Or if you're not.
We used to have a lot of Tinder dates at Gostana.
Oh, yes.
It was like the place for Tinder dates.
And Yeshi had this radar. She would see the table and she'll come next to me. Tinder date.
Yeah, it was so much fun to hear all those
She had this
conversations.
marketing plan also, like why don't we give Tinder discounts
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, a lot of my conversations with you Arabs, when like when we was chilling on that side of, like when you enter and that side of the bar, I'm gonna call it the bar counter.
I call it the VIP section.
VIP section, yeah. You always told me what was their last date about. You know, sometimes she was trying so hard, you know. Last time.
I have stories. I have witnessed this whole family coming together, like, and telling this young couple that you should not get divorced. Full Rona Dhona scene, so
In
much.
Gostana?
Yeah, it was so much Rona Dhona that this was those hours like between lunch and
lunch
evening.
and dinner.
Yeah, and there was this one girl who was just working out of there, and she was so embarrassed that she left. And I mean, Uttam and I are looking at each other. Should we also leave? We've had so many first dates who have even happily married now. We've had people who have brought their then girlfriends, boyfriends to Gostana so they can get over the fear of dolls.
And yeah, and once my ex-boyfriend came with his brand new girlfriend to Gostana, and who was very cute. And yeah,
You should see
And you were
Yeshi's
there?
face, right?
I was there. I gave them. I handed out the menus. I took their order. I gave them.
But did you give them a discount?
No.
No.
Did you charge them extra?
Did they get what they wanted, like burger of choice mila ki?
No, I was nice because I was.
She's always nice.
Professional.
Yeah, I was
It's a
professional.
sitting.
But yeah, it was strange.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So we got together after a long time, like together as in with Yeshi.
Yeah.
Rahul, Suva and I have been meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, why are we talking about the George Harrison guitar?
Huh.
Why? Because that was one of the, like, I think everybody, not only in Bombay, but everybody from the world came
Yeah.
to see that guitar. So George Harrison's guitar used to be there in Gostana when Gostana used to be there. Now it's in Arth's room.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, you'll have to pay 1,000 per visit if you want to come to my house.
that's only for one selfie.
That's one selfie.
Yeah, one selfie.
One
By the
selfie,
way,
1,000 rupees.
if your camera does not focus, your fault.
I think you should just start an Instamojo account for just this selfie with Harrison's guitar.
Yeah, so yeah.
Tell us the story of how it got there, by the way. I don't know about this.
Okay, our friend.
Actually, I do, but I just want you guys to know also.
It's gonna be a very long podcast.
I'm still telling you 2 parts. Put
Yeah.
it in 2 parts. This is where the first part ends. So get back next week to hear how she got the guitar.
Strike a Chord, a podcast by Arpana.